Coming up on Colonial Sports Center, David Szymanski of RMU Central Media sits down with us, and I know Rashad, you're excited to talk men's basketball with him.
Definitely, I love basketball, but even more excited about this interview we have with Brady Ferguson here in studio with our own Adeline Burdine later in the show.
Action-packed show, you don't want to miss it. This is Colonial Sports Center. Welcome to Colonial Sports Center. Me and Kiss, alongside me again, Rashad Christian.
Yep.
Bow tie, I like it. Looks like you just came from prom.
Yeah, we're going to kick it old school today.
Kicking it old school, I like it.
Yeah.
So we have some breaking news, and this is good breaking news.
Yep.
The past few weeks, not
For
so
about the
much for
first
the
time.
men's basketball team with their Thursday night game at LIU Brooklyn tonight. They walked away victorious 67-63. They won a close game. We haven't seen that from them this season.
Yeah.
And Isaiah's still a guy that we always argue about. Is he legit on this team? 21 points.
I mean, he picked it up this game. He shot 50% from the field, 50% from three. Better numbers than we've seen pretty much all year. And this is what we needed from him all season long. I mean, he's just been disappearing as the season went on. Earlier, he scored, I believe, 26 points in the second game of the season, and we just haven't seen that level of production until now. And we see what it results in.
You know, Kayvon Stewart, no, that's impressive, 15 points.
Yeah.
8 rebounds. Like to see him in there, the senior leader, I like to call him.
Oh, definitely. Now, we're going to jump into St. Francis and the Robert Morris Colonials basketball game this weekend. It was a rough game.
It was a thriller.
It was a thriller.
We'll head to Loretto, Pennsylvania.
They've been struggling all year, but you wouldn't be able to tell with this breakaway slam by Deshaun Burke. Able to come up with the steal
Sets
and
the
the
tone.
2 points. Sets the tone, you're right, Ian. And you see here, Billy Giles, a name who's been on the down low for pretty much these past few weeks, able to get the inside bucket, and Matty McConnell able to hit the three. Their lead is at 10 right now, and I know they've struggled with keeping leads all year long, and this game would be no exception as St. Francis is able to start climbing back into this game with an interior dunk here over Deshaun Burke. And once again, we're going to see the same thing. Same play, same dunk, same person. Moving into the second half, St. Francis only down by 3, able to find Lorenzen Wright for the 3 on the left wing, able to extend their lead, but St. Francis, like I said, they're fighting back and they were not stopping. They're able to secure a 5-point lead until Lorenzen Wright once again answers back 3 of his own. And Kayvon Stewart showing that aggressiveness that we've talked about recently, able to drive not once but twice, and able to get an and one on both plays here. And until we see in overtime, St. Francis just able to close it out. It was the Colonials' highest scoring game of the year, and they were still unable to walk away with the win. Aaron Tate set a career high for scoring with 15 points. Isaiah still had yet another night struggling to find the bottom of the net as he shot only 2 of 10 from the field and 0 of 7 from beyond the arc. St. Francis was able to hit from everywhere as they shot 42% from the field and 50% from 3. They also hit 25 of their astounding 31 free throws attempted. RMU is set to play St. Francis Brooklyn on February 4th.
In their continuous journey to the top of the NEC standings, the women's basketball team took on the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, a team who's in the middle of the NEC playoff push in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Rashad, that's your hometown. You close to Emmitsburg?
Home state, not too close.
Okay.
Maybe about 45 minutes or so.
To the gymnasium we go. A nice feed to Adeniki Lamprey. We're going to hear her name quite a bit here in this highlight. Again, right in front of the opposing bench, not intimidated at all. We're going to head to the second quarter. The Colonials saw their, Janaea Brown, the Colonials saw their lead. It was 18-8 and now only 22-15. And now it's 22-18 as Mountaineers all game found the perimeter shooting almost in the same spot as Lamprey from before, right in front of her bench this time.
Yep.
And the pass down finds Naneka Exebo with the and one, a bunch of and ones, the old-fashioned three-point plays in these past few highlights. And again, extending the arc, almost NBA 3, almost like LeBron James out there. In the fourth quarter, Adeniki Lamprey with a fadeaway jumper. But then Mountaineers not going away, fighting for the rebound, got the and one, 45-42, but the Colonials would be victorious at 50-44. After losing their lead 4 minutes into the start of the third quarter, RMU regrouped and dominated the remainder of the game, not letting the home team get the upper hand for a second time. The senior sensation on and Nikki Stamba Lamprou once again paced Robert Morris' offense with 15 total points. Junior Michaela Mulray was active on the glass, corralling 15 rebounds.
The women's basketball team started this season pretty rocky with a record of 4-6 through the first 10 games. Lately, they've been able to come back to life, so to speak. Leading up to their contest with number 1 St. Francis, who I'll talk about in just a second, the Colonials went on a 3-game winning streak. This success allowed RMU to jump from 6th place in the NEC Conference to 4th place in the conference. Ian?
In the thick of things right now.
Oh, definitely. As the season goes on, we'll be excited to see how far they can actually get in the conference now. Do you think they have what it takes to move into first place?
I do. We'll see how they handle the first place team in St. Francis here.
There we go. They've won 3 in a row, and the women's basketball team is looking unstoppable. With wins against Bryant, Central Connecticut, and Mount St. Mary's, these ladies will look to use that momentum and continue their longest winning streak of the year into the highlight. Or the recap,
back and forth game saw multiple lead changes throughout. The Colonials fought back in the fourth quarter after Michaela Morin's layup with 3:49 left on the clock. St. Francis Jessica Kovac hit a 3-point shot with 3 seconds, but the damage was already done by the Colonials. Robert Morris saw a huge performance again by Anna and Nikki Stamba Lamprou, finishing with 27 points, but it was Michaela Morin who stood on the stat sheet, who also had a great outing as she scored 10 points and 11 rebounds to finish with the double-double. Robert Morris will continue their road trip when they tip off against the St. Francis Brooklyn Terriers at St. Francis Brooklyn on Saturday at 1 p.m.
All right, here we're going to see some stats from both the men's and women's basketball teams. You see here very, very different records and very different standings.
They were kind of similar to begin, but now the women's team has picked it up, ready to go. But tonight proved that the Colonials men's team can win a close matchup.
Oh, they definitely can. It's just a matter of when they get in these close games, they don't know how to finish. You know, we've seen Kayvon Stewart throw the ball away in crucial moments. We've seen Isaiah still have numerous attempts at winning or tying the game, and he's just unable to connect on them.
Now we have RMU men's basketball contributor David Shemansky. Nice to have you in studio tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So when you looked at the stat sheet tonight, what stood out tonight that was different from previous weeks?
So I think tonight was a great showing of kind of the future of Robert Morris basketball. Aaron Tate and Kayvon Stewart are going to be gone next year, and we're going to have to move on from them. And frankly, the rest of this season, we may have to move on from. We're 4-7 in the NEC. I think a successful season would be if we could get back to 500. But really, we're already moving towards next season. So we saw Isaiah Still tonight score 21 points it was and have a great game. And we beat one of the better teams in the NEC because of a playmaker like Isaiah Still. So I think tonight's game really showed us just how important having a playmaker like that is. And it's nice that it came from the sophomore.
And Rashad, you can weigh in on this.
Yeah.
You keep saying we're preparing for next season. Now, is this season a wash, or do the Colonials have a legit chance?
I think at this point in the year, I think it's a wash. But like you were saying, this is a chance to build upon the future. You're going to have your 2 leaders gone. And Isaiah, I thought this year would be a great preparatory year for Isaiah to sort of start handling more of the offensive load and get it off of Kayvon Stewart's hands. But it's going to be interesting to see how well he operates without Kayvon there handling the ball about 75% of the time and able to create shots for Isaiah. Even though he's not able to hit them, he's getting the shots up, and I think that's something we can look at as a positive takeaway from this season.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see who is the guy who's going to have the ball in his hands going forward, because I'm not sure it will be Isaiah. He's kind of the type of guy that when someone else is able to make a play for him and get him the shot, he's able to knock it down. But is that going to be Matty McConnell in the future? Is it going to be Clive Allen? And we'll have to see because Kayvon will be gone.
Yeah, I think a name we don't talk about a lot, Deshaun Burke. These past few games, he's really been stepping up. He earned his starting spot with several key games and playing that role off the bench. Do you think he'll be the number 2 option behind Still next year, or will he overtake that number 1 role?
I don't think he'll overtake the number 1 role. I think he'll still be the number 2, and I also think he'll play the 2, and I think Still will be still more at the 3. Tonight we had 4 guards on the floor, and going forward, I'm not sure who we're going to bring in next year, but we could have a similar lineup to that. And I still think you wonder who's going to play the 1, not necessarily be the 1,
right.
Whether it be Matty McConnell or Clive Allen. But we're going to have to find someone who's going to be able to distribute the ball to guys like Deshaun Burke and Isaiah Still.
Well, I know you guys can go at this all day because you're basketball gurus, but that's all the time we have with you, David. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Talking.
Thanks.
When we come back, we have action-packed hockey weekend as the men's and women's team both had 2 games apiece. You don't want to miss that action.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. The men's hockey squad faced off against the Crusaders for Holy Cross Friday as they began another 2-game weekend series. Robert Morris is coming off of a split the weekend before in their 2 games against Air Force at the 84 Lumber Arena, and now they head to the road.
Into the highlight we go, Ian.
Now, pick up here in the first period. Goalie Francis Murad's going to get beat early in 17 seconds into the contest. The Crusaders score, and then less than a minute later or so, there's a fire shot right past the glove of the goaltender. Right here, the Colonials we're gonna see it better in the replay here. The Colonials are gonna get on the board. Luke Lynch. The Colonials trying to find something. Shots on net. He is right there, and easy peasy lemon squeezy for him. And then
I like that, Ian. I like that.
we're gonna head to the second period. The Colonials, and then Andrew Pickle is in for Francis Murat. And we're going to see, and he's here right with us right now. Brady Ferguson, we're going to see later in the show, gets the Colonials. And now a scary moment here for the second goaltender for RMU as Andrew Pickle has to be helped off with an injury. And the Colonials are going to get on the board right here as Timmy Moore tips it in, a freshman and 2 juniors. Another look at it, do all the scoring for the Colonials this evening, or that evening. But the Colonials would fall 4-3. Holy Cross's 4 goals in the opening period proved to be too much for the Colonials as their comeback came 1 goal short as they couldn't find the back of the net in the third period. Juniors Brady Ferguson and Timmy Moore beat the Crusaders goalie Paul Barafato early in the second period to make it a 4-3 game, but Barafato wouldn't let another puck pass them in net. Freshman goaltender Francis Murat got replaced after the first period by junior Andrew Pickle. However, Pickle was injured on a play within the first few minutes of the period, and senior Dalton Isaac then came into the game. Isaac stopped every shot that came his way, finishing with 13 saves. The very next night, the Colonials looked for some revenge, Rashad.
The Holy Cross Crusaders defended their home ice well with the victory over the Colonials. Could they do it a second time? Mind you, the Colonials this season are 5-0-2 after a loss. The outcome of this game will be added to history in a positive, negative, or a neutral way. We're going to find out right now.
Pressure on Crusaders knowing that stat coming in for the Colonials.
See, I don't even know if they knew this. I have to do some digging for this one, but We see here, Robert Morris, I want you guys to pay attention to the period and just look at that. See the first goal there by Luke Lynch. That is his 6th of the year, and Robert Morris from that point on did not relent. The second goal there, Alex Tonge, his 14th of the season. We're going to see here, able to find himself in the middle of the ice and get it right past the goalie for Holy Cross. Holy Cross is just unable to get any offense going in this game. And you see here an easy steal by Brady Ferguson, the man of the hour here in the studio with us. And once again, Robert Morris sort of on a fast break, like in basketball, and able to working quick, and 4 goals. Still the first period, mind you.
If it works, keep doing it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Ian. And we see here the 5th goal there by Timmy Moore, and he would also be responsible for the 6th one in this game. More scoring, 6 goals in the first period. They are still undefeated after a loss, and they did it in impressive fashion. They scored all 6 of their goals in the first period. Brady Ferguson improved on an already impressive season, adding 4 points to his season total. He now has 42 points on the year.
Impressive. As their quest for an historic season continues, on this time in Syracuse, New York, the women's hockey team battled the Orange this past Friday, kicking off their weekend series. To Syracuse, New York, the Colonials and the Orange. I always like the Orange. It's kind of a unique mascot, I guess you could say. But Meath Garvey's moving up the court, and Abby Miller's going to get beat, and the Colonials take a 1-0 lead. And then again, a pass up the court, and they're going to find Jessica Gazzola, and she's going to be identical to Garvey up in that same corner, and it's 2-0 Colonials. Now we're going to head to the 3rd period. The Colonials trying to get something going, but Miller says, no, not this time around, makes the save, and then the freshman Etta Ladova makes the steal, but gets it to her teammate, and again, wide of the shot, and Miller takes a breath there, but then Jessica Dodds on the other end uses that glove the way goalie should use the glove. Another save by Dodds, and the Orange trying to get something going. They're on the power play here, and they are going to a little quick beat Dodge right there, but the Colonials would prevail 3-1. Senior Meath Garvey scored 2 goals for the Colonials' first and last goals. The senior's second goal put the game out of reach for the Orange, as it gave Robert Morris a 2-goal advantage with less than 2 minutes left in the contest. Senior goaltender Jessica Dodds earned the win between the pipes, making 27 total saves. The Colonials and the Orange were back on the same ice Saturday for Game 2.
With their win, the Colonials widened its conference lead on Syracuse to a more comfortable level. Game 2 would be the game to see if Syracuse had what it took to compete with the 8th best team in the nation. Could they do it?
The Colonials struggled early on as they allowed a total of 5 goals to the Orange, 3 of which came in the second period. Stephanie Grossi of Syracuse shot only twice in this game, but both shots hit the back of the net as she finished with 2 goals. JC Gibbard scored RMU's only goal, which brings her season total to 16. Brittany Howard was held scoreless this game, and would mark for the first time this season, which Howard was held to no points in 2 consecutive games. Now, let's take a look at the updated CHA standings. Robert Morris still solid there, 10-2-2. Syracuse, big win.
Right,
they didn't get the second win.
Yeah.
Big win, because Syracuse would have really put the Colonials in a pickle. And then you have Mercyhurst, Penn State, RIT, and Lindenwood. So the 4, 5, and 6 teams most likely out of it. Mercyhurst needs to do some work to get up with the way Robert Morris has been playing. It's going to be very difficult for Syracuse to do anything. But when we come back, we mentioned his name a ton in this show. Brady Ferguson will be with Adeline Burdine. You don't want to miss it.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. I'm Adeline Verdine, here with Brady Ferguson, junior forward. So Brady, you reached the 100 career point milestone this past Saturday at Holy Cross. What was that like?
It was a pretty nice feeling, but honestly, I try not to really worry about it too much. And coming in this year, I think one of my main goals was to try and be a leader on the team, but I also want to win a championship and get a ring, really.
So you have 16 goals, 26 assists, and you're leading the NCAA in power play points. What's your secret to success?
Really, I think personally, I try not to really worry about it. I think I just go out there and have fun and play the sport I love, but really couldn't do it without my teammates. I think my line mates really helped me out, and our coaches obviously do a pretty good job of teaching us.
You've had a lot of success playing alongside Daniel Levins and Alex Tonge. What do you think it is that makes you guys work so well together?
Well, I think we're pretty good buddies off the ice, so we have good chemistry on the ice. I think we found that out at the beginning of the year. But I think all three of us really try not to worry about producing, and it just happens.
So like you said, you guys are pretty good friends off the ice. Do you think as a whole team you guys do a lot of bonding so that you're able to, use that on the ice then?
Yeah, I think this year's team has been really good about becoming friends right off the bat, because I think we got 10 new freshmen. So at the beginning of the year we went on a weekend retreat to a cabin, and I just got to really learn everyone's names and kind of get to really know the new guys.
So like you said, you have 10 new guys, but you still are a very competitive team. Why do you think that is?
I think our coaches did a good job recruiting some guys, so that obviously helps. But I think our leaders, Rob Mann, Alex Bonch, and Ben Roblard and Levo, they do a really good job of kind of controlling everyone's emotions and just playing the game.
So is there any one player that you think has really stepped it up this season?
I think one player from last year was Alex Tonge. I don't think he got the opportunity last season, and I think this year has really brought it.
You were nominated for the Hobie Baker Award, which is a huge honor, also alongside with past players like Cody Wido, Greg Gibson, and Zach Lynch. How does that make you feel?
Well, all three of those guys are really good players, so, and Levo too. Me and Levo also got nominated, but yeah, it's pretty cool, but then again, I'm not really too worried about it. I'd rather win a championship and get a ring.
You recorded your first career hat trick in October at RIT. What was that like?
That's probably one of the craziest games I've been a part of. I think we're losing 5-1 going into the second, and we came back, tied it, and then I scored the game-winning goal at the beginning of the third period. So it's a pretty emotional game. You get your highs and lows, but yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, that had to have been exciting. Yeah. So to finish this off, what do you think your biggest challenge is this season, as personally and as a team?
I think personally is being consistent. We still have 8 more games to go this season, so I think if we can I'd like to win all 8 and hopefully come in first at the end of the year, but I think playoffs are going to be big. I think as a team I'd like to come in first, but if not, try to get a first round bye and do well in playoffs.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Brady. I appreciate it. And stay tuned to hear more about this week of athletics for the Colonials.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees? Nothing to do with snow. Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones. Don't even. And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. It's that time of the show again, Rashad.
Yep.
Upcoming games of the week. Adeline said we were going to bring it, and now we have here up on the screen for you. Now, men's hockey is the only game Friday.
Big
RIT, big game.
Big games.
Big rivals. We heard Brady talk about the craziness of RIT games are usually shootouts from last season. This season, you recorded a hat trick. You may see another hat trick again. Looking for a big game from the junior forward.
Yeah, when I listened to his interview, I was really impressed with the fact that he said he wasn't worried about individual accomplishments.
And that's the type of player that the Colonials need. Someone that's not, selfish, doesn't really care. He seemed like one of those players that, he got the, his 100th career point, but it's like, oh, that really good.
Yeah, he dismissed that.
He may have not, maybe before a game they say, hey, you have 99, but a player doesn't really keep track of that.
Yeah, that's not their job, but we're going to move into Saturday. 4 games, sorry. The first one being men's lacrosse.
Busy Saturday.
Busy Saturday. And then we have women's lacrosse at Bucknell. That'll be
See how both lacrosse teams get going as, it's not just hockey and basketball.
Right.
We have lacrosse, softball's going to be over here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And women's basketball, like I said earlier in the show, at St. Francis, Brooklyn at 1 p.m. And the men's basketball, we'll see how they build off of this big, I'm going to call it a big win, like David said. LAU Brooklyn's in the thick of things in the NEC standing. So, they got that 4-point victory. They closed out a close game. They haven't been able to do that, against Wagner, Butler, Mount St. Mary's.
Several teams this year. They finally found the formula.
Or not
to
Butler,
win those
Brian.
games.
I don't know why I said Butler.
Brian. Butler's in a totally different conference. It's all right.
Yeah. So, now, women's basketball, who is it, Anna Nikki, or is it Michaela Mulrain who thinks going to take the reins this weekend at the Terriers?
Who's to say it won't be both of them, honestly? I mean, she's the inside presence. You have Anna Nikki handling the ball on the perimeter, sometimes getting inside and making her own shot, but Michaela is going to be the one responsible for anything that comes into her.
We see them, Michaela gives the ball to Anna Nikki, so we'll see if that chemistry from the player down low to the player on the perimeter. And now that's all we have on Colonial Sports Center this week. Come back next week for another edition of Colonial Sports Center.